So in this tutorial I'm going to show how to connect Robot Studio up to ROS, or set it up to receive ROS commands over the local network. I have everything set up in this environment. Here it will go over how to get to this state, and so to start you're going to want to have Robot Studio installed along with you're going to want to clone the ROS Industrial ABB drivers. These here, this is the repo. You can just download it or whatever, clone it from the command line. I already have the files downloaded, but what you're going to want to do to start is create an empty station. And then you're going to want to import your robotic arm. So whichever one you have, as long as it's supported by the ROS or the ABB drivers or the experimental drivers. I personally have. I'm going to select the IRB 1600 because this one is supported under experimental. They work just about the same. And the next step that we're going to want to do is click this window here and from controller. You're going to want to remember this location because this is where you're going to need to access this folder soon. You're going to give it a name and then just click next to these dialogues till you get here. And there's a few things that need to be enabled to make this work. You can use this filter search up here. The first is going to be the PC interface, which can be found with 6.6. And you're also going to enable multitasking, which is 6.2.3. Then once you're done with that, you just click Finish, and it should just run correctly. Next, we're going to want to navigate to the folder shown before. That would be here for me. Then virtual controllers, and whatever you named it, navigate into that folder, the home directory, and we're going to want to make a new directory called ROS. And if you have downloaded the GitHub, you should navigate to that, open the Rapid folder, and copy its contents into this new ROS folder that we have made. There we go. And minimize these. There is actually one quick change that we're going to want to do for ROS socket. You should not need to do this if you're doing this on the physical robot, but this is solely for Robot Studio. In this ROS socket, I'm gonna open with Notepad++. Here we are, and this line right here, 32, needs to be changed to this one right here. Essentially just switching it over, and then this IP address needs to be the IP address of your current computer. So if you don't know how to find that, it sucks to be you, and this is probably over your head so far. But that's my computer's local IP4 address. Once I've changed that, we should be all set there. Now that we've done that, we need to go to the controller and open up the flex pendant. Rest of the work is going to be done in the flex pendant. So we're going to start by control panel, and we need to switch it out of autonomous mode for this configuration. And then controller right there, and we want to click task, and then in task you can see we already have TROB1 that's there, and then we're going to need to create some new tasks. new tasks being ROS state server. This ROS state server is the only thing we should need to change is trust level to no safety. You're going to select no. We're going to add one more, the ROS, this should ROS motion server, and the trust level for this one needs to be changed to stop. And then once you've done that, we can restart the flex pendant. Just going to take a moment here. It's going to acknowledge the error, and you just close it and reopen it. And we're going to acknowledge that, switch it out of autonomous mode again, navigate back to the same location, but this time we're going to stay in the I/O system and go to Signal. Now that we're in Signal, we have to add 7 different things. For those who have been following along in the tutorial, these right here, they're all going to be digital outputs, and they're going to have these names. I'm going to quickly stop or show the first one here. So the name, signal execution error, okay, and then type of signal, you just switch that to digital output, okay, and then do you want to restart? Not yet, because we have 6 more to add. Be right back once I've added those. Okay, so this is the last I/O signal that I have, and when you complete this one, you just want to select yes for restarting, and you're going to wait as the system does its thing. Okay, acknowledge, close. I'm going to wait for it to close and immediately reopen it. Acknowledge that we're not done setting it up. Take the flex pendant out of autonomous mode, navigate back to the same exact spot, basically, and once you're here, you're gonna stay in I/O again, but this time you're going to select system output, and you're gonna follow a pretty similar process. So for the signal name, you're gonna select signal execution error. Again, there's a table on the ROS wiki that shows exactly what we're doing here. We're going to be filling this out. Little note here when I'm filling this out, the status, the R execution error, and then only argument 2 will pop up. These NAs are never options, and it's very easy to do. We're going to follow the same thing, just adding them all. Run chain OK. now we're coming to the last one now. We're just going to quickly check before we restart that we have 7 things here. Okay, and now that we have, I'll show you how to just manually restart. You just click the dialog here, click restart. It's going to restart the same exact way. I'm going to close that, and there we go. Now we're going to go through the same process as we've done before. We're going to switch the robot out of autonomous mode so we can edit it. Configuration. This time, as we can see here, once we are here, we select the controller and then the automatic loading of modules, right? And now we're going to go through the same process that we had before and load this table into here. So, file, just copy the file name into here. Okay, and then if you just go down to all tasks and change this, and a little note, only these first 3 you're changing all tasks for, as you can probably see from the table. Going to quickly do this. Okay. And then when you get here, you just have to set the task correctly, opposed to 4. And now that we're getting to the last one, we click yes for the restart. Just restarting between every single one of these steps. Acknowledge, restart, and now when we restart, theoretically, acknowledge, this should be working. If we were to leave it in autonomous mode and push the enable motors button, but we get this error. To fix this error, you have to go to the program editor, click, so again, program editor, tasks and programs, click one, this will be show modules, and then module 1 is a default module that has a main class. So you're going to want to delete this module, and by doing so we can return to the program you're going to move to the production window, go pp to main, and it will work. If we have the motors on, as you can see up here, and everything's set up, and if we just, the program should just run, and now that it's running, I will go to my laptop, and if I execute the trajectory, there we go, you can see the robot is working. And that is how you set up the simulated robot. Yeah, Kudos. Good luck. Have fun with your robots.